Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you might see, it looks a little bit different today because I just changed filter on my camera because today I don't want to talk about makeup and I don't want to talk about beauty. I want to talk about another subject that is very important for me, and that is my coming out story. Because a lot of people out there bringing out their coming out stories, and some people come out on YouTube, what I think is very brave. But I think it's very important to just tell your story to the world, so people see out there they're not alone, and people see that it's okay. We are living now in 2015. I think personally it doesn't matter anymore, at least in the countries where I lived, so Germany and America. So let's just start. When I was around 5 or 6 years old, I started to do ballet. I was a ballet dancer, and that already showed for some people that I might be different from other people. I got treated very badly, very poorly in my elementary school because of that reason. Because all of my other fellow like the children that I was going to the class with, they were playing soccer and doing all this manly stuff, and I was a ballet dancer. But you know what? I was really good. So I moved to Berlin when I was 10 and started to grow up in a boarding school for ballet dancer. And in this whole like ballet and artist field, it is definitely more common to be surrounded by gay people. And so I was very comfortable with myself. I never really had a big issue being gay. Of course, when you're like 13, 14, when you start to develop like sexual interest, you start to realize that you don't really care about the girls and their bodies. It's more about the male fellow students that you are attracted to. So and of course I had my moment where I was like, why me? Because I knew that because of society and because of just how I also grew up in my elementary school and how I got treated there, I was always asking myself, why do I have to go through that? But you know what, I'm really happy that I'm just the way that I am. And so I felt very comfortable with 15 telling my parents about me being gay. I sent them a letter because I was in Berlin and they still lived in Bavaria, what is in the south part of Germany. And so I sent them a letter telling them that I'm gay, but that it doesn't change anything for me. I mean, like, being gay, I don't define myself just being gay. Of course, gay is a part of myself, but I'm not just a gay man. I'm a man, I'm a husband, I'm a friend, I'm a co-worker. So there's so many different sides of me than just being gay. And I think it's very poor if you just define yourself of your sexuality, and it doesn't matter who you are. I mean, like, now we see a big a wave going through about transsexual people, for example, and everything that, like, as soon as somebody comes out as transsexual, they're just a transsexual person. No, they're just a woman or a man, and they're going through this transition. But at the end, it is not what defines them. It doesn't make them a better or a worse person. It's just who they are. And I see that it's the same with straight people, bisexual, gay people. It doesn't matter for me. I mean, like, at the end, if you are a nice person, you're a nice person, no matter who you're going to bed with. Anyway, so I talked to my parents about it, and I have to say my mother was a little bit disappointed that I don't have the courage to come straight towards them and tell them in person. But also in this moment where I wanted to talk to them and coming out to them, I wanted to do it then, like right now, and not 1 or 2 months later when I was seeing them in person. So I went to Bavaria and then talked to them in person after I sent them the letter. And then, but the first person I actually came out to was my sister. I have an older sister. She's 3 years older than me, and I came out to her as the first person. But I have to say, my parents, like, when I was like 11 or something like that, my mother was going to my father and was like, I think Chris might be gay. My father was like, well, that's not news to me. So I couldn't hide it. I was always the flamboyant, outgoing person that I am today. And but the first person was my sister. And then after I came out to my closest family, I came out to my grandparents, first to my grandmother, and then I wanted to come out to my grandfather, and my grandmother was like, well, can I tell him, because, you know, he comes from a different time and whatever. And my grandfather was always the person who was like, well, when you bring out your girlfriend, when do you come home with your little girlfriend? Like, he was always trying to push me to getting a girlfriend. And so my grandmother talked to my grandfather and was like, well, Chris will never bring home a girlfriend. He is bringing home a boyfriend. And the reaction of my grandfather was like, the next time I saw him, was like, well, when do you bring home your boyfriend? So it was never an issue with my family. I'm very blessed, trust me. I'm very blessed that I don't have to go through some horrible things that other people have to go through. But even though you might think somebody would react a certain way, you would be surprised sometimes how people react to just being you. I think if somebody really truly loves you from the bottom of their heart, all what they wish for is that you feel happy, that you feel confident, and that you live a beautiful life. And it doesn't matter with who you live your life. No matter how your parents or somebody else in your family reacts to your coming out, it gets better. It does really gets better. As soon as you are open about yourself, you are free. You cut through the chains that was like a weight always, and you had to go with this weight through your life all the time, and you feel like, oh my God, I can't anymore. That's too much pressure, too much weight. And as soon as you just be yourself, all of that is gone. All of that is gone. I'm really lucky that I have a partner. I found my husband 7 years ago. I'm in a relationship since 7 years ago. And that's a completely normal relationship, like everybody else. It's just beautiful. It's love. It's filled with love. He is loving me no matter how I walk around. If I do wear makeup or no makeup, if I gained a couple of pounds, what I did, unfortunately. But I'm trying to losing them. I really try. Anyway, he loves me, and we're just going through really normal stuff that every relationship has to go through. So you will find your half, the person who makes you feel good and makes you feel secure, and it doesn't matter what gender it is. And I personally think every human being is bisexual. That is my theory. I think everybody's bisexual, and just, like, don't get me wrong, like, I understand why man and woman are attracted towards women. They're beautiful. This is why I do makeup on them. I want to make them even better looking and make them feel more happy and beautiful. So I get it, and there are some pretty hot chicks out there. But I would like to go shopping with them. Nothing more. All right, so that is my coming out story. I mean, like, it's a beautiful coming out story because it is filled with love. I'm very blessed. I'm just really, really blessed. Trust me. I know that I'm really lucky. So I hope that it gives you the courage out there to stay true to yourself, be open-minded towards other people, just be respectful. Treat your neighbor like you want to get treated. I'm not a religious person, but I think this is really true. You should love your neighbor. You should love your people that you are around, no matter what. Because at the end of the day, it's none of your business. It's only their own business, what they're doing privately. So be just sure you be open-minded and respectful. And I hope that this was a nice coming out story for some people out there. Maybe some people were like, well, that's boring. Guess what? I'm okay with that, because I live a beautiful, boring life then. So if you like that video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. I would love to have you as my subscriber. And I also have Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. So if you want to check that out, I post there more pictures and something about me. So that's interesting. And on that note, I would like to say goodbye. I wish you all a wonderful day and enjoy.